The resilient US economy, a historically strong dollar, and the threat of a punitive tariffs from the White House are three pillars that are currently underpinning almost all market trends. However, the lack of concrete decisions regarding the implementation of tariffs by the United States has allowed markets to focus on the upcoming meetings of major central banks and speeches by policymakers at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Economic data released at the close of this important week deserves close attention. You are watching Traders Calendar for January 24th. Australia's manufacturing PMI fell to 47.8, marking the 11th consecutive month of a contraction. This drop was below the preliminary estimate of 48.2 points and reflects worsening economic conditions, including weak demand and reduced exports. In addition, rising delivery costs are limiting the potential for the economic recovery, which is waning on the Australian dollar, particularly against the stronger US dollar. Inflation in Japan accelerated to 2.9%, hitting a one-year high, driven by rising energy and food prices. Meanwhile, core inflation also rose to 2.7%. This report is crucial as it comes just hours before the Bank of Japan's interest rate decision. If inflation reaches 3.2% year-over-year, the yen could gain significant strength against the major currencies, including the greenback. The outlook for the British pound is less encouraging. The Consumer Confidence Index, which has risen for 2 consecutive months, is expected to fall again. The index may drop from a -17 to -23, reinforcing negative economic trends for the UK. With such big data, the pound sterling is likely to remain under pressure in the currency market. Another important report will be Japan's manufacturing PMI, which has already risen to 49.6, the highest since September 2024. The next reading is expected to rise further, reaching 49.9 points. And this figure is expected to support the yen and lower its exchange rate against the US dollar. The Bank of Japan's policy meeting will take place on this day, with the key interest rate expected to be raised from 0.25% to 0.50%. If this happens, the yen could see strong bullish momentum against other major currencies. Note that Governor Katsuo Ueda's press conference will follow the central bank's announcement, and his comments may provide further insights for the currency traders. As for the Eurozone, there is a moderate optimism, at least regarding the German manufacturing PMI, which is expected to rise slightly. The indicator is anticipated to increase by 0.4 points to 42.9, providing some support for the euro. Similarly, the Eurozone manufacturing PMI is forecast to rise to 45.3 points, which should contribute to the euro's gains against the dollar. Even though the increase may be modest and short-lived, the euro traders have become adept at using any positive news to initiate fresh buying. In contrast, the UK manufacturing PMI is expected to fall from 47 to 46.9 points. A decline in the new orders, especially for exports, along with the foreign customer inventories, is leading to higher production costs, thus worsening the economic outlook. Given these factors, the British pound is likely to remain under pressure. US business activity seems to be maintaining its momentum, with the manufacturing PMI expected to rise to 49.6 points. The services sector PMI is also forecasted to hit around 56.6 points, and these positive indicators could reinforce the US dollar strength despite weaker manufacturing conditions. The US housing sector appears more confident, with the existing home sales anticipated to increase to 4,190,000, the highest level in the past 9 months. A rise in buyer activity can be attributed to improved employment and consumer adaptation to new mortgage rates. The average home price also rose 4.7% from a year ago, and these positive figures continue to support the dollar amid stable economic growth. Please note that the publication times are set in a GMT plus 3. The next video review of our Traders Calendar will be released on a Friday, January 24th. We wish you profitable trading and see you soon.